Every day, we're reminded of how important it is to save money and avoid overspending. But what about an entire day devoted to the promotion of savings? World Savings Day was established on October 31st, 1924, during the first International Savings Bank Congress in Milan, Italy. This day is devoted to the promotion of savings. In addition, the day highlights the necessity of saving for the future. We're joined here by Markysa O'loughlin, Business Development Manager of First Federal Credit Union, to discuss the importance of saving and its impact on the way we think about the future of money. Markysa, welcome to Good Morning SKN.
Thank you.
Glad to have you here.
Good morning, everyone.
So I guess one of our first questions is, how important is it for people to save?
Well, I would say, coming off the heels of the pandemic especially, I think that's self-explanatory. We all know how important it is to save. Simple things like having a rainy day fund, an emergency fund, or just having that peace of mind that you have a backup plan in the event that you need to tap into it. Also, some of us, we prefer to have those small indulgences like perhaps a vacation, hair, nails. You need money for all those things. I know I do. So just having something in the piggy bank is always good so that you're able to finance your lifestyle as well as live a happy and fulfilling life.
Right, right.
So what are the different types of savings? I'm going to ask for the short term and the long term.
Okay. So short-term savings can be thought of savings product that you have deposits, you deposit typically for. So at First Federal, we have specific savings type that we deem short-term because you withdraw your deposit and there are no penalties for withdrawing or depositing and that money. You do it whenever you want. Okay. It's your money, it's fully accessible. One of those types of savings would be called our First Choice Savings Account, okay. And that actually generates 2.5% interest. So that's like your everyday savings. Now we have long-term savings, and most people know them as fixed deposits. Some people call them term deposits. Other institutions call them certificates of deposits. Things like these types of savings, you typically find there's a fixed term on it. So you have a sum of money and you put it there and you can't touch it. However, the reward for not touching it and for being disciplined is that you get a higher interest rate. At First Federal, we give up to 4.5% on this type of savings products. So you can consider it like savings investment in that sense. It's long term, but it generates a high return and it gives you value for your money. So those are two different types between short-term and long-term savings.
Great. In terms of saving habits, let's talk about the good and the bad.
Some you see good savings, bad savings. Okay. So we live in a society, I know, where some people have informal, I'll call them informal savings. Let's try informal, okay? So informal savings, you may have things like what we know as susu or partner hands, where it is a type of savings and it does work for some. I'm not going to knock it. However, there's a risk component to it where you're literally giving someone who's not regulated by any regulator your money to hold for you with the hope that you get it back at some point. And the more persons who are in this susu or partner hand, the more likely or the higher risk it is because you have so many different variables. And you know, the sad stories come, oh, my child needed to go to the dentist, or you know, you're depending on people with everyday lives, and they probably do have everyday emergencies, and they might not be able to contribute 1 month, and before you know it, it falls apart. So that's one type of informal savings that it can work, but there's a high risk component to it. Okay, so good savings now, where I would typically encourage anyone to find an institution. It doesn't have to be mine, but of course I'm gonna tell you to come to First Federal. But you find an institution that you're comfortable with. Typically, I'd say credit unions always tend to generate higher rates of interest on your savings product. you find a product that works for you. We have customized, we actually take pride in having customized savings products at First Federal. So savings for different purposes. For example, we have a youth savings account. We have a first choice savings account. That's what I said, it's for everyday use. We have a My Goal savings. That's as the name suggests, that's literally if you have a goal and you want to save towards it, you save towards your goal, whether it be a vacation, maybe a down payment on your home, buying a new car, whatever that looks like for you. We also have what we call a multiplier savings, and that's a savings of all savings. This product was specially designed with persons who are serious about savings. I say this because it requires discipline. You must deposit at least $100 per month, or to break it down, $25 a week.
Right.
And once you do this, you're able to get 3.5% on your monies, and this is compounded monthly. The 3.5% is an annual rate, of course, but it's compounded monthly, so you get a chance to build up your savings more quickly, and you get rewarded for that discipline of at least bringing that $25 a week. So those are different types of savings. I'll say informal and formal savings that you would want to consider. I know some people say, I rather keep my money under bed. that also has a risk component to it. Informal, again, that's an informal type of savings. Under your bed, there's no interest. Whatever money you put there last Christmas, that's the money you're going to find.
Sometimes the interest isn't a lot, so you tend to want to keep it under there or in the plastic piggy bank. Correct.
I'm saying, what? What if there's a fire? It's gone. At least you could bring it to me. Bring it to me, and you know it's safe.
Okay. Yes. Well, with Markysa, at least we know your money will be making
Bring it to me. Just bring it to me.
So, Markysa, you were talking about making the $25 a priority. Would you say you believe in the 80-20 rule?
When it comes to theories on savings, I like to say savings is personal. There is no one rule, albeit I'll agree that there's some good rules out there to provide guidance, and that's just what it is, guidance. But I would say savings is personal. You know what your needs are. You know how you must balance your wants and needs. You know what you can dedicate to savings. So I typically do not advise people to stay hard and fast with rules. There's so many out there. I know there's 50, 30, 20, there's 80, 20. There are quite a few rules out there. I do think, though, in terms of benchmarking, that 20%, it is a good yardstick, I think. If you could save 20% of your monies every month, that would be awesome. But some of us, we just have to be more realistic. If that looks like 10%, kudos to you, because what it is, the 80-20 rules, just for the viewing audience, it's we're saying at least 20% of your funds should be saved, whatever that looks like for your monthly income. And 80% of that can be divided into your wants and needs. And typically some theories break it down into 50% for your needs, 30% for your wants, and then that last 20 is for your savings. So hence the 80-20 rule. But I would say, again, savings is personal. So whatever your saving goal looks like, that's the one that you should just dedicate to, stick to. You must know what works, what can work for you.
Indeed.
Of course. And to your point, with savings being personal, we often think about how we want to save for our families and our children. So when should individuals think about getting started for savings for children?
Never too early. It is never too early. I know some individuals have some very good saving habits. For example, they begin saving as soon as their child is born. And at First Federal, we accommodate those types of savings accounts. We call it the My First Savings. You get it? My First. So the My First Savings account is truly your child's first savings account. And named after First Federal, of course. So that savings account, you typically only need $5 to start that savings, and you can actually have something for your child when they grow up. Also, it gives you opportunity to teach your child how to save. If that looks like an allowance, you give your child maybe a $10 allowance, you tell them, maybe go with the 80-20 rule.
Yes,
So you
20% of
you
that.
tell them, save that $2,
Yes.
put it on your savings, and you actually bring them to the institution. Some schools, and I know Sunday schools as well, have that component to it. So if you go to a school or Sunday school, you encourage your child to save. So I think it's very important to start from early, build those habits early on, let them even see you save, and that helps them in the long run when they become adults. It's already inculcated into them, so they get the opportunity to just have savings become first nature.
Right, right.
Exactly. So you keep telling our viewers to come to me, come to me. Why? I want to know the big why. Why should we come to First Federal?
Okay. So firstly, as I mentioned previously, First Federal has custom tailored savings products. I believe a savings product for every type of saving goals, every type of saving need that you may have. So if you think about a saving goal, perhaps a vacation, we have a My Goal savings. And we also have what you call, in the credit union sense, the Christmas savings.
Yes.
And what's unique about our Christmas savings is it's called Anytime Christmas, and there's no limitation on when you can join the savings. Most institutions, they say like, to save for December, you have to come by January or February. We're saying, if you could start saving in March, April, June, July, whatever that looks like for Christmas, please come. I don't want to put any hindrance on you having an attempt to save your money. So at First Federal, that's one of the things we do. Also, as I mentioned, we have some of the more competitive rates on the market. Fixed deposits up to 4.5%. That is not typical. That is actually a very big deal.
Big deal.
So if you are an investor, as I mentioned, let's get it out from under your bed and bring it to me. So that 4.5% product for fixed deposits, that's actually very compelling. So that's one of the reasons. Besides that, at First Federal Credit Union, we say yes. We say yes to excellent service, personalized service. When we come to First Federal, you're family. So that's what I want. That if that's a message that I can leave with your viewing audience today, that's what I want to leave with them.
When you come to First Federal, your family.
Exactly.
That rhymes. That sounds so nice.
And, you know, I think a lot of people sort of think about some of the negatives and the positives to having other options like partner hands. Can you talk through that with us?
Okay, so the negatives, as I mentioned, for partner hands, is that you want to know that your money is safe ultimately.
Right.
It's very difficult for someone to really save, because how the partner hand works, similarly to our multiplier, you have to give that consistent monthly or weekly input. For that 1 week where someone else, say there's 12 of you in that hand, for that 1 week where someone else is unable to meet their commitment, because this is not just, you're not just relying on you, you're relying on you plus 11 others.
Right.
So for that one time that someone is unable to meet their commitment, it puts a strain on the entire group. It causes stress.
Correct.
I've seen those WhatsApp status, those social media blasts about the partner hands. I want my money.
Yeah, exactly.
But truly, there's nothing that you can do. Because even law enforcement typically would not get involved in something like that to try to get back your money from a partner hand.
Yeah.
So typically for partner hands, it's a risk, because you're relying on other persons to keep your money safe, and you're relying on other persons' input, and you have no control over that. At least with a financial institution, you're able to have that one-on-one relationship, and again, it's your money in a deposit account that is safe for you to come and get your money when you need it. Right. So again, if you think of our multiplier account, if you're used to the partner hand and you like how it works for you, and you've never been burned,
right?
A multiplier is also a good option, because it's a similar $25 a week. You get an interest on it. You get back your monies at the end of a fixed period. So that's something that if you have the discipline, it's a very good alternative to a partner hand, and it provides a much safer option.
Right, right.
So Markysa, in our final moments, can you let our viewing public know, since you say come to me, where they can either get to you or others in your institution to start their savings?
Fantastic. So first of all, we're in a virtual world, and if you're looking at me, you're probably online anyways. So you can visit us at www.firstfederalcreditunion.com. You're going to see quite a few of those products that we discussed, and they're right down our website. Also, we have 3 convenient branches. Firstly, we're located at Bladen Commercial Development. Also, we have a branch at downtown Central Street. It's called our Personal Banking Center. It's actually a bank cafe, so you could have a cup of coffee, get a smoothie while we open your account for you. Also, we have a branch in Nevis, and it's right there on Chapel Street. So we have 3 convenient locations. Also, if you just want to just pick up the phone and give us a call, dial us at 466-3477. And lastly, we're on almost all the social media platforms. So find us on FB, IG, YouTube. You find us everywhere. And our handle is at First Federal CU. So if you go on Facebook, just type in First Federal Credit Union, or you can type in that handle and you're going to find us. Yeah, that's about it.
Thank you so much. That bank cafe sounds like a fantastic idea.
You must visit
And
sometime.
I will definitely be visiting you there.
It's called the First Cafe. It's called the First Cafe by Sweet and Savory. So you must visit
nice.
sometime.
Very nice.
So you guys have what we call partnerships.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
lovely,
yes,
lovely.
yes, of course.